we are here to talk about stress management and avoiding burnout. Or, it's funny, and I want to like to introduce yourself in a bit, but like we talk about, okay, stress. Is it that I just avoid stress, or is it better if I learn to manage it? But I suppose that's one of the things we'll talk about. So, hello, Madhurima. Welcome to
Hi.
Marriage and Relationships. And Madhurima is a global stress management facilitator. I'm going to like to let her explain to you what exactly that means. But what I will tell you is that you are in for a treat. She is one of the most lovely people I have had the pleasure of meeting through the power of networking, and her energy is entirely infectious. So I hope, if nothing else, you leave this video or live, however you're watching it, with a big smile because you've been infected with Madhurima's happiness. So
Yes.
over to
Now
you.
that's a virus. Yeah, no, that's a virus. I am happy to be infected with every single
Right?
day. Hello, everyone. Kim, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. I'm so excited and hyped to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm Madhurima. My name goes like a wave, so it's very easy to pronounce. I know it looks like a mouthful, but it is very easy to pronounce. It's Madhurima. So, Madhurima, right? Yeah, a wave.
Well,
We are always waving. No, I'm sorry. And what I love doing is, as a global stress management facilitator, another mouthful of words. I'm not sorry, but what I love helping doing with people is helping them manage their stress and prevent burnout. I work especially with multi-passionate, ambitious dreamers, and my mission right now in life for the foreseeable future is to make stress management fun. Because a lot of people assume that stress management is going to be annoying and soul sucking, is going to take time and energy away from our personal and professional lives. And that's not the reality. And to be fair, to all you guys watching this right now, and to my old self, that makes sense, because every single time we ask the question, well, how do we manage our stress, we were told the age-old answer of, how about you don't take stress, as if that solution, I hadn't thought of it before. Oh my god, what a wonderful solution to give to someone who's probably had heard it like hundreds of times, enough to make a drinking game out
don't
of it.
stress. Calm down. Don't worry. Okay.
Yeah, as if life doesn't happen all over us and we are just like, yeah, I'm not stressing at all, I'm completely calm. Ha ha ha. No. So I mean, it's an annoying answer that has been given to us for a really long time, so it makes sense that we assume stress management to be something that's going to be annoying, right? But it doesn't need to be. It can be a lot of fun. And that is something that I have recognized and found out, and as I'm still finding out, the search is not over, but I'm still finding it out every single day. What is a great way to make stress management fun? What's a new way to make stress management fun? And that's what I'm all about.
So that whole issue, but we're not avoiding it because it's all
Yes.
around us. So
Yeah.
now that we accept that it's happening, there are triggers, and everybody's triggers are different. Now we have to figure out how we're going to manage it, and
Yeah.
don't let it manage us.
Yes, I love that. So I think what I would like to say is this: when stress happens without us recognizing it, like we don't really realize that we're getting into the stress zone and the stress mode, solely because every time our brain perceives there to be a perceived threat, that is, we assume it's a threat or it's a real life and death situation, our brain automatically, without us realizing, shifts into the fight, flight, freeze response. So it's like, okay, if you can hear a snake kind of rattling near you, or you see a long piece of rope that looks very similar to snake, you're not gonna be like, huh, let me inspect that. Your first reaction is to jump away from it, right? Pretty much like if you're walking, that's a very far-fetched example. So here's a easier, much easier to understand example. If you're crossing the road and you see a bus coming at you at a very fast speed, you're not going to stand there and be like, how fast can I run to ensure that this bus doesn't collide with me? Like, you're going to take a step back automatically, right? You're not going to be standing there and imagining the situation. Your body responds automatically. It either fights the situation or runs away from the situation. Sometimes it also freezes. When our body thinks that there's literally too much happening in the moment right now and we can't kind of deal with this right now, it freezes.
Yeah.
It's like the stories we heard when we were younger. If you see a bear coming near you, act like you're dead.
Oh yeah, that one. Yes,
Right?
that's
That one. I mean, run away as well, but also act like you're dead. Then the bear is gonna go away. So it's that paralysis that almost happens, and it
right.
usually happens without us recognizing it. It takes a while for our brain to be like, oh wait, what was that? Right? It takes a while for a prefrontal cortex that's right here on top, that's the mammalian side of the brain, to actually be like, let me actually see what is happening. Let me logically look at the situation. So a lot of times you can't really avoid the stress. You can prepare ahead of time for it, and
Mhm.
you can learn how to manage it. So it's about how quickly can you get out of that stress, especially for us amazing individuals who are currently living in the chronic stressed out space, where there's one thing after another happening in our lives
Yep.
over and over and over again.
Mhm.
It's how long are you going to stay stuck there, and how quickly can you get out. The next time a similar situation happens, are you going to stay stuck there, or are you going to get out of it? That decision, I believe, if it is not a very huge thing that's happening, like a trauma inducing thing that's happening, then we can get out of it. If it is the normal, regular, oh, I have a meeting, I have a deadline, oh, I have to kind of make sure that my kids are eating their food and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. If that is the stresses you're experiencing, if it's not trauma inducing, we can get out of it quickly, right? And that's where we work. So it's mostly not avoiding it, it's learning how to prepare ahead of time for it so you can come out of it quickly, and
Right.
learning how to manage. Preparing ahead of time. Sorry, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, 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 that's fine. So I was thinking, so there's certain situations that we would know that cause us
Mhm.
to, so
Yeah.
that pre-preparation, um, and I guess, okay, like this one will apply to next week is Thanksgiving in the US, and it's the start of the holiday season. And for many people, it's a great and wonderful time. They love reconnecting with family, but for some people, the holidays are very stress inducing. As I don't know if in your
Hmm.
work you've been coming across this with helping people, prepare for the anxiety that
Yeah.
holidays can bring for some people. I mean, I don't know, what are some tips maybe, or how would you approach that if you know that meeting big groups of family is going to be a trigger for you? Like, what is there anything
Yeah.
you do?
Yeah, no, there's definitely a lot of things that you can do. And I'm going to speak from a very generalistic point of view, because I don't know particular situations that might be happening to anyone listening to this who might potentially get triggered by the holiday season. But
Yeah.
I can understand why that might happen. I can understand why it can be a very stress inducing thing, because if you are a mom who has to cook for like the entire family coming over and you have like hundreds of things to do, I can understand why that's stressful. So that the one biggest thing is knowing ahead of time that this is going to stress me out.
Mm-hmm.
This one day, or the few days ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday is going to stress me out. It is going to happen no matter what I do. So
Exactly.
if you're aware of it, what you can do is, an amazing tip would be to put on alarms on your phone. Grab your phone, put on alarms on it for every 3 or 4 hours, right? And every time that alarm rings, no matter what you're doing, unless your food is literally burning or there is literally harm going to happen to someone if you don't handle that situation, step away and do something that helps you. Do something that helps you take back control. Um, it can be doing something that you enjoy. It can be watching a quick TV show. It can be going for a walk outside. It can be spending time with the plants if you love gardening. It can be spending time with your pets if you have pets. It can be anything that it's self-care, no strings attached, right? You're
Yes.
not caring for yourself because you have to deal with all the things that happens next. You're caring for yourself because you deserve the time away. You deserve to get away from the hecticness of the entire scenario. I think one of the things that often happens is we can kind of get hooked on, oh, I have to do this and then I have to do this, then I have to do this, then I have to do this. And sometimes the biggest thing you can do if you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed out by the entire situation is to take a step back and
Mm-hmm.
step away from the entire environment, no matter how crazy it sounds to do that at that point of time. believe me, it's going to be such a huge game changer. And I speak this from personal experience. Today, I had a lot of things going on, and I was like, I am feeling too overwhelmed. Like, there's a lot of things happening right now, and not enough happening at the same time. Not the things that I want to happen are happening.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so, yeah, and so what can I do about it? Take a walk. I don't want to take a walk. Went out, took a walk, came back half an hour later. I'm in a much clearer state of mind right now than I was back then. So
Yeah.
it's especially when you are like, I don't want to do this because I know it's going to be beneficial, but I don't want to do it because that's going to be a game changer. So throughout your day, 3 to 4 break points where you step away from whatever you're doing and care for yourself, focus on yourself. The second thing is, I think one of the biggest stressors come from the fact that everything's out in the unknown, right? You have everything planned out, but it is out in the unknown. Like, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if this happens? So, a great way to kind of remove the stresses, if this is one of the reasons why you are getting stressed out because of the holidays, is to be like, huh, let's create plan A, plan B, plan C. Plan A fails, I have plan B. If plan B fails, I have plan C. So you're creating some level of control in the environment way ahead of time. You're not planning this in the moment, you're planning it ahead of time. And once you have it all planned out, get it out of your mind, right? Keep it on a piece of paper somewhere, but get it out of your mind. Don't keep thinking of how can I perfect the system? How can I like, no, don't perfect it. You just have multiple options now, but get it out of your mind and just focus on what you were planning to do originally. The reason why I say that is because a lot of people can get hooked onto perfecting things, and sometimes getting into a state of almost overthinking about every minute thing. Like, you don't have to think that far. Just plan ahead of time to ensure that you have a couple of options if something goes wrong, right? In the moment, you don't know what is going to change, what the situation would be, what's the environment going to be like. So that's another tip I can give from the top of my head.
Correct.
Yeah, I think take care of yourself, plan ahead of time, and I think I'll leave you guys with this mantra for this particular question is, what I can control, I'll control. What I can't control, I won't. Right? I know it sounds chaotic as hell, but it is something that's really cool. One of the ways that I plan, the way I function is, let's break it down with an example. Past, present, future. Past has already happened. I can't control it. I might take lessons from it, but I can't control it. So in the scenario, you must have hosted a lot of Thanksgiving dinners. So you must have learned a lot of things, but mulling over it is not going to do anyone any favors. Learn from it, let it go. The present, I'm going to spend about 80% of my energy ensuring that I can, because this in this moment is
Mhm.
something that I can do everything in my power to control it,
Mhm.
right? Nothing else. Like, I make the decision of how things are going to go. So 80% of my energy is going to go into this. The future, as enticing as it sounds to plan it all ahead, 20% of my energy, not more than that, because I don't know how the situation is going to unfold, right? So yeah, I can influence the future, but I can't completely control it.
Not
So I'm
control.
going to spend, yeah, I'm going to spend about 20% of my energy, because it's not worth it. It's not worth it spending 100% of my energy being like, what can I do about the future? That's not yet happened. Not gonna do anyone any favors. You're just wasting your own time and energy.
It's not. Precisely. And that is something that we talk about a lot in this space as well. What can you control? You can control yourself. Are you spending your time thinking about how you're going to control other people, what other people think, what other people say? No, because you can't control what they're thinking, what they're saying, what they're feeling, but you can control what you are thinking and saying and feeling. And one of the great places to start is exactly what you just said there. Look at your past, present, and future. Where are you expending most of your energy? So
Mm.
definitely. My dear, where can
Mhm.
people find you? What do you have going on?
Ooh, one of the things, you can find me on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. 4 major platforms, right? You can find me everywhere. Just type in Madhurima Sappatti. I'm a very chaotic being and I do a lot of cool things. So you might see my amazing, beautiful face pop up, irrespective of where you search me. So you can find me quite easily. One thing that I'm offering that I think would be really cool for this particular group is I know how the year end can be very chaotic by default because it's not just the holiday season. It's like, oh, I had my goals from the start of the year, my New Year's resolutions, none of them have come through. I don't know what I'm doing with my life, blah, blah, blah. We have a lot of things going on in our head and I get it.
Judgment. Yep.
Yeah, I get it. I have played that game for a really long time, so I totally get it where you guys are coming in from. So, understanding the overwhelm and recognizing that there are 7 weeks left for 2023, I want to ensure that I can help this last few weeks ensure that 2023 ends from a space of joy and gratitude as opposed to ending it on an almost sour note that, oh, the holidays, the goals, I'm such a bad person, I can't follow through. No, let's break that and just shift that pattern. And so one of the things that I'm offering is throughout these 7 weeks, every single week, we are going to work on one thing that is stressing you out, one major stressor, highest priority. We're going to work on that so that we can remove it from your plate, right? We are going to clear out your plate as much as we can so that you can start 2024 from a space of focus. Now, full disclosure, this is not going to be a deep fix. It's a quick fix. It's going to be something that helps you get a clarity of mind as opposed to being like, let's get into the depths of it. The depth of it is a whole entire process, but it is something that will help you feel a bit more relaxed. And so another thing that I can do is if you're like, I know I'm stressed out, but I don't know what is stressing me out, I'm offering a free stress management strategy session to understand what are the current stressors that are showing up in your life that we can potentially work on in the 7 weeks. And for this group, I'll be offering 50% off on all my sessions. If you say, hey, I come from Kim's group, I come from the Moms and Relationships group, let me know ahead of time and we will make that happen. Just let me know you're coming from Kim's space. So yeah, that's one thing that I can offer. I would genuinely love to help and ensure that you can start 2024 from a place of focus and confidence and then 2023 on a good note. It's been a good year. So I would love to help you end it in the same way.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And we'll get some of those links and drop them in the comments and all that stuff. Yes. So thank you very much. And I'm wishing you a good night. And we will do this again sometime soon.
For sure. Let's make that happen. Thank you so much.